All right, Rob.
All right, Gav, Black Sabbath live stream. What have we just witnessed? I can't really describe what we've just witnessed there.
I think we've witnessed the end of a very successful band. That
Yeah.
was nothing short of absolutely diabolical, an abomination of a performance between,
So just it's Guns N' Roses we're talking about here.
yeah,
The band that have just come off stage, yeah.
the vocals were bad. Okay, we're
Terrible.
fairly familiar with that, but the timing was off.
Yeah,
The
yeah, the
energy,
timing.
I felt like Duff was looking at Axel going like, "What are you at?"
Mm.
Slash was a bit sloppy. The drummer was very good. Uh,
Drummer was excellent. I
yeah,
thought he was amazing.
I couldn't think of his name, but
He's new enough, I think, well, in
yeah,
the last 2 years or something.
yeah. But oh my God, I was so fucking bad. I was actually
Yeah,
watching it go and just end it now. I actually said
yeah.
to myself, if that was a dog, you'd bring, you'd bring him on a one-way ticket to a vet's,
Yeah.
they're
So
done.
Axel's voice, like obviously very high range when he was younger,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he tries to sing in that style, but he can't do it. So he goes into kind of a falsetto, but he doesn't have like the pipes for it anymore, and it just sounds like Mickey Mouse. I think Dave Mustaine actually has a similar problem,
yeah.
and it sounds terrible. So they started off with one of the ballad songs from one of the later Black Sabbath albums, and then they went into Never Say Die, and Never Say Die is one of the worst Black Sabbath albums. So I don't know why they picked that song.
Then,
Um,
then Paradise City.
so then it was Sabbath Bloody Sabbath,
Yeah,
which is one of my favorite Sabbath albums, one of my favorite Sabbath songs. And I thought Slash and the lads were brilliant for that in the band. But
th-
again, I thought Axel was terrible. He totally destroyed it.
it was so bad. It was
Mm.
so bad. The worst performance by a friggin' mile.
Yeah, it was. It was
It
the
was
worst performance of the
so
whole day.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you what, that has bought a ticket for Guns N' Roses who's on the world tour at the minute, fair play to you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You couldn't. You no. That was terrible. I just see they're coming. They're showing clips earlier in the day there. So my thinking here, Gav, is that the mighty Metallica are coming up next, and they got to make sure that everything is right because Metallica don't mess around. Like Metallica are on tour, and Metallica are one of the best live bands in the world, one of the best live bands of all time. And I know people who watch our channels are probably sick of me and you worshiping at the altar of Metallica, but there's a reason why they're the best. And we're seeing today, like some bands were brilliant today, some bands are very mediocre. But I
mm.
cannot wait to see James, Lars, and the lads go out now and put on a top-notch performance for the next half an hour.
What do you think they're going to cover?
Well, I think going back to the Garage Inc. or the Garage Days we visited, I think you're going to see what was it, a National
Abracadabra.
Acrobat and Sabracadabra. Yeah, they had a kind of fusion of those two. I think we might get a few more. There's a lot of Black Sabbath songs that haven't been played today from the first two, three albums, and I'm hoping we're going to see Metallica cover a good chunk of them, and then Black Sabbath themselves with
I
the
don't
rest. You
know.
know?
I think Metallica are that cute, as we say. They like you can tell that a lot of these bands just landed this morning.
Yeah,
I didn't
definitely.
know where to put these things together. Metallica won't let themselves be that vulnerable
No,
in front of this audience. Did you notice the size of the stream has gone up in the millions?
sorry. On the stream on
The back to the beginning of the live stream, like most
I
of
did
the
not notice that. So
yeah,
where are
most
you seeing that on the website? Is it
it says it down the bottom corner, yeah. Most of the day
okay?
it was about 400, 500,000. It's gone to 2.5 million.
Yeah. Well, the Metallica family are coming to town. You know, as simple as that. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's out there all over the world. America is waking up and
Yes.
they're logging in to see their heroes
Yeah.
play in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So when we talk about Slayer very quickly, I thought it was a game of two halves for Slayer. They
Yeah, I
played
did.
some of
Yeah.
the stuff off their more recent albums and some of the deeper cuts on their big albums, and it was completely lost to me. Like you know,
Yeah, they're a little bit like I like my heavy music, but your man Tom Araya, his voice and his the aggressiveness and Kerry King, I just can't take to him. I like his playing, but just him as a human, he just looks like an ass. Um, but I did like the last three songs, South of Heaven, Rain and Blood, and Angel of Death. Like if you're any,
love them. Yeah.
into metal, they're the three songs you want to hear, and you got them. So yeah,
I
it's
love the riffs and all that, but I was messing in there because we were talking earlier with David Draymond and he was getting booed and the whole lot. Like, and I don't want to get into politics,
mm,
but like you know, and then you have Black Sabbath coming out, like the lyrics, like and some of the lyrics in those songs is like you know the riffs are great, But like that's why I love Metallica so much because they're really not like alienating anyone. They're actually bringing people together
Mm.
with a shared experience, you know. But I think Slayer's lyrics are hard to take sometimes. Like it's crazy stuff they're singing about there, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, very hardcore, fucking heavy metal or whatever you want to call it, thrash.
It's
I don't.
death
Yeah,
metal or
thrash
whatever.
metal. Yeah, yeah, it's brutal, you know. But there was elements of that with Lamb of God as well, you know. There was
Yeah,
there's elements of it too, you know. He's quite aggressive as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this next one. I think yeah, it couldn't have happened at a better time for Guns N' Roses to come on before the Kings of Metal, Metallica. You know, what I mean, they're going to blow.
isn't it mad?
Uh,
Is it mad to see the journey of those two bands? Take it back to 1992 when they were doing the double headliner, Guns N' Roses and Metallica. And even though it was a double headliner, Guns N' Roses were on second because they were kind of perceived to be a more commercial band.
yeah,
And of course, you know, Metallica had to when James had the issue with the pyrotechnics and all that. You know,
yeah,
Axel wouldn't do his bit, and there was riots and all that good stuff. But out of that tour, Metallica were seen as a more solid act. You know, and now I'm thinking, you know, whatever, 30 years later, we're definitely seeing that Metallica have won that battle,
uh,
hands down, hands down.
yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, good chat. Looking forward to the next round of Villa Park.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we'll be in touch. We might catch up again before the end or at the end. But
Yeah,
this is fun, and I think people are enjoying it.
yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. All right. See you after
Deadly. See you,
Metallica.
Gav.
All right.